Hi, it's Maggie the Irish Gypsy here to bring you your November 2020 general reading. We are looking at the first half of November, so from the 1st to the 15th. This reading is for the air sign of Aquarius. Welcome everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for taking the time to be here, to tune in. For all of your likes, shares, support, subscribes, hitting that subscribe button if you haven't already, donations, feedback, comments, reaching out for personal readings. Thank you so much for any and all support that you give this channel. Excuse me. It is all welcome and all appreciated. So, this reading is for the air sign of Aquarius. That's Aquarius sun, moon, rising. If your Venus is in Aquarius, if you're cross-watching for an Aquarian, it's all relevant. But as you know, being a general reading is going to resonate a little differently for everyone watching because everyone has different things going on in their lives. So, watch all of your signs if you know them. Sun, moon, rising, and Venus. Each one can bring some additional perspective, maybe help you navigate a little bit better through this short period of time. If you find that any of the readings do resonate with you and you'd like to reach out for a personal reading, take a deeper look at something, or get information about that, you can click on the description link below, click on that little arrow that pulls down information. You'll see some contact details there. You can email me directly at maggie1maguire@gmail.com. I'd be delighted to hear from you. I can usually respond within the same day or the first 24 hours. I do offer a wide variety of readings. And I do readings full time. It's all that I do. So I'm pretty diligent about working with my schedule and your schedule to get personal readings set up in as timely a fashion as possible. So email me if you're interested. I'd be most happy to hear from you. Okay, Aquarius. Let's see what the first half of November holds for you. I'm using, what am I using? Legacy of the Divine Tarot and one of the Gilded Tarots, the Gilded Tarot Royale. The Chariot just leaped right out while I'm shuffling. I'm going to put it back in and keep shuffling. But the Chariot represents success on a difficult and challenging path. Okay, Aquarius, November 1st through the 15th, 2020. Hasn't it been one heck of a year? Okay, we begin with you. King of Swords, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Straightforward, a good communicator, very direct, sometimes a little blunt. All about truth, wisdom, enlightenment, making decisions based from the head before the heart, not against the heart, just being wise and practical person. That sword of the King of Swords is meant to cut through to the heart of a matter. It's not emotional energy. It's governed by the element of air, the suit of swords. So it's all mental. What makes sense? What's practical? Putting the emotions to the side to see what really is and making decisions based on that. We have the Hermit. Perhaps feeling isolated, but it's also a card of choice as well in the upright position because the Hermit chooses to remove himself even for just a time to get quiet, go within, and get wisdom and insight and guidance. The Two of Cups, the traditional soulmate, kindred spirit, best friends, a great union on more than just physical and chemical level. Meeting of the mind, heart, somebody that you really connect with. And the Page of Wands, which could be messages, it could be a young person or a child, it could be somebody acting very spontaneously and impulsively, which the King of Swords isn't really prone to do. But he, if this is about falling in love, sometimes the most mature and adult of people can kind of backslide a little bit or regress a bit in our behavior in regards to age. But it might represent a child or messages. We'll have to clarify. From the bottom of the deck, what represents the overall energy and focus for the first half of November, Aquarius, is the Fool. Getting ready to start off on a brand new journey. In fact, you can see he has one foot on the hourglass here, which has been flipped over so that the sands can begin to run down again, but they haven't begun. It's like he's just getting ready. The little dog kind of hanging on, going, don't be hasty, be careful, we don't want to jump off a cliff. Getting ready to start a brand new journey, taking a risk, stepping out of your comfort zone just to see what the potential is. With the Fool and the Page of Wands, it can represent being foolhardy or being very spontaneous and impulsive, which again the King of Swords wouldn't be prone to do, but it feels like you are starting, you've maybe made the decision to do something you normally wouldn't have done, like stepping out of, I mean, the King of Swords typically acts, the textbook King of Swords typically acts a certain way, right? But the Fool is about stepping out of your comfort zone to explore the potential and possibility of a new thing, a new journey, a new person, a new relationship here even. Why would that be such a step for you? I mean, are you already involved, or are you married, or is it somebody or something that you have never done before? It could represent taking a journey. It's interesting that we have the Hermit next to the Soulmate card. So let's clarify here. That Chariot did pop out. I'm just getting that somebody actually left a long-term relationship or marriage for somebody that they see as their soulmate, and it's been a very difficult, very sticky. And for those of you for whom that resonates, this page might be a child as well. Maybe you had a child by this person that you're leaving. Interesting. Or it may be because the child is also next to the Two of Cups, or the page is next to the Two of Cups. It may be that. All right, let's clarify first, because I'm getting something about leaving one person for another person here. It might be that somebody got somebody pregnant or something. Anyway. Clarify the Fool. Yeah, I'm getting the sense of somebody actually leaving. Like physically leaving too, moving out, leaving, could be traveling, I suppose. Clarify the Fool. Eight of Cups, the card of leaving, or turning your back on something and walking away because ultimately it just isn't what you want. It may have started out to be, you know, lovely, but it's either run its course or it's turned out to be different than what you want. So you're making up your mind to move into a different direction. I keep getting that somebody's leaving a relationship, though, an established relationship or a marriage. And because we have the Hermit and the Two of Cups, it might be because you're making a decision which you feel is best to be alone for a while, because the person that you've been with there isn't that connection, and you really want that connection. What's being left behind? The Devil is being left behind. A toxic situation or a relationship. And the nature of that toxicity could be anything. I mean, it's a general reading, and you all have different lives and different things going on. The Devil can be addiction issues. Maybe somebody had a drug or alcohol addiction, mental health issues, you know, toxic, negative, either too clingy or controlling. I mean, it could be, this could be work too. A toxic, negative work situation. The Five of Swords as well. That'll make that the last card in that. The Five of Swords is a hard-won victory. It's also a card of winning at all costs. Sometimes it represents that in order to win, you must move away from a situation that requires you to leave a person or relationships behind. And it may not feel like much of a victory at the time, but it actually really is, because the situation is toxic, obviously, with the Devil. Negative, exploitative. And even though it doesn't feel like a victory, it is, in the sense that you're putting yourself on a better path. So this is either a relationship or a job, you know, that was just really toxic. and you're leaving it either to find that perfect match or that perfect job, or you have, and it was maybe quite difficult for you to leave. That's what I'm getting. I'm not going to clarify the King of Swords because I don't need to. I think for the majority of you, if not all of you, the King of Swords, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra, is you. Trying to see what's best here. What's the best thing to do here? For some of you, it might be another individual in this situation that's also showing up as a King of Swords. Clarify the Hermit. Why the Hermit? The Two of Wands, because you made the decision to do that, and I said that when the Hermit was out. It can be a bit lonely and a bit isolating, the energy of being a hermit, but the hermit chooses to do that. It's a voluntary, it's not a forced thing. Hermits, monks, monastic, they make the choice to temporarily or permanently, or for a long period of time, remove themselves from the noise and distraction of normal day-to-day life in order to get some guidance, not be distracted while they go within and seek wisdom and insight, clarification and discernment and guidance and all of that. So it was, and it's your choice. You made the choice to do that. Why? Well, yeah, it's leaving you left something that was not good for you. It was unhealthy. It was toxic in some shape, way, or form. Clarify the Two of Wands. Ooh, that one flew right out. Two flew right out. The Sun and the Eight of Swords. Two completely different cards, which is what the choice. The Two of Wands is being at a crossroads and needing to make a decision to move in one direction or another, because Wands is fire energy, it's action oriented. I've got to choose to move down one path or the other. And it looks like this was a path perhaps of being alone for a time, or maybe you were in something toxic and negative and you were feeling alone anyway, and you wanted to make the decision to leave because what's the choice? It feels like these were the two choices: to stay where you are, which makes you feel very trapped, or to move into another direction, which uplifts all that energy and brings illumination and clarity. It looks like this is, okay, right. So as this tells the story of how it lays out, the King of Swords made the decision to maybe go away for a while or just withdraw, to make up their mind, to make the decision between, leaving a situation which looks like it's really difficult to leave. If it's a long-term relationship or marriage, there might be children involved, which always makes things more complicated. The devil represents not only a toxic situation, but one that you still feel connected to. It's very difficult to kind of free yourself from. You feel kind of trapped and bound because the devil represents some situation or relationship, something, which you feel that you can't leave because of, ideas, your own, I can't leave because I have kids. I can't leave because this is my paycheck. I can't leave because, fill in the blank. You really can. I'm not saying it doesn't come at a cost, everything does, but you can free yourself, right? And get an uplifting of this energy. So it was about taking a step back and taking time off to make that decision. I mean, we're looking at the first 2 weeks of November, so it looks like this is basically what's going on. So let's clarify the Two of Cups. The Ace of Cups, finding your soulmate. See what's next. The Queen of Pentacles might be an earth sign, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. I think for many of you, this is, a relationship situation. It feels a bit complicated. It feels a bit tangled. it feels like for, some of you, you're leaving, again, a long-term relationship or marriage of some kind. There may or may not be children involved, which could always complicate things. And even though this relationship, could be a job too, is toxic and not good for you, you're still tied to it. It's very difficult to leave for whatever reasons. Again, it could be the length of time, the history, children. If it's a job, it could be, it pays well. We're living during COVID times, and who wants to leave their job without having another one right now? It could be a variety of those things that you've just felt like you were trapped in this, but at the same time, I need to leave. I need to get out from under this. It's too much for me because of whatever. Because of whatever in general reading could be anything. It could be dealing with somebody who's, has a whole bunch of other issues or something like that as well. But it's just about taking some time off to go, this is what I want to do. Is this really the best thing? Some of you, it may be that you have met somebody and you're leaving a relationship or marriage because of that. And that might be why there's the energy of the Fool on the Page of Wands, because is it a foolhardy thing to do? Kind of. It could be the best decision you ever made in your life, though. Is it stepping off the beaten path and taking a risk and all of that? Totally. Doesn't mean it's wrong. Could be leaving a great job for another job at an entry-level position that doesn't pay as much, but at which you'd be happier, and maybe it has more room for advancement. Does it make sense to leave this already established, well-paying job? Maybe not. But the Fool is about stepping out of your comfort zone in order to explore what could be the potential of something which could turn out to be great. And even if it doesn't, lessons learned. Let's clarify this Page of Wands. Very interesting reading. It looks like most, if not all of you, during this period of time actually make the decision to go. The Page of Wands is clarified by the Emperor, Aries energy. Could be a father figure. So it could be that, you're leaving a relationship or a marriage or something where you have a child. For some of you, because again, we've got that Fool card there, it could be that the Emperor, who's the Emperor rules the empire, all the kingdoms, all the kings and queens, very structured, disciplined, controlled individual. It could be that the Emperor, because we have the Fool card here, the Emperor is acting like a page. Could be that, because of, new love and romance. Moving very quickly, I feel like even though the lead up to this Aquarius might have been a long time coming, it feels like once you make the decision, things happen very, very, very quickly, like really quickly. But yeah, it feels like the leaving, or what prompts the starting of this new journey, is very difficult. Like whatever you're leaving behind it's difficult. And I get a physical leaving too, like moving out from one place, traveling even. You know what? I think that's it. I'm just going to pull one or two advice cards. Any advice or guidance or feedback for Aquarius for the first 2 weeks of November? The Tower. Yeah, this is a game-changing, kind of significant life trajectory, path-changing event. We had a few cards jump out. I'm going to keep them all. The Six of Cups, home, family, the past, reunion, faith, also considered the Hierophant, the conventional, the establishment. So, yeah, whatever the nature of this decision is, especially if it's leaving a long-term relationship or marriage, it's kind of like the crumbling down of that which is comfortable and safe and has been in place for some time. But it's toxic. We have that toxic energy. We have the world, which is a final completion. This is where the Fool's journey ends, and he starts a brand new one. Ace of Coins, moving, relocating, could be a new job or some combination of that. And then the Six of Swords, because it's healing. Yeah, so ultimately, even as difficult and sticky and a bit complex or tangled as this seems, and as rough as it can seem, you may just, want to put your head down, keep putting one foot in front of the other until you get through this part of it, because that's what the Tower can be like. But you're actually doing the right thing, and you're actually moving towards a place of healing with this decision, as difficult as it is, if that helps, clarify things at all for the Aquarians that I'm reading for here. All right, Aquarius, that is your reading. I hope that, I don't know if you could enjoy this reading. It felt, kind of heavy. Not, as I say, a unicorns and rainbows kind of reading, but I think something that some of you really needed to hear. So I hope that it's been helpful in that regard. If you would like to take a deeper look at anything, or you're interested in any of the reading services I offer, just reach out to me. You can click on the description link below for contact details. Email me at Maggie1McGuire@gmail.com. I would be most happy to work with you. I will see you all again in a couple of weeks for the November mid-month readings. Until then, stay safe and well. Many blessings to you. And I hope to see you back here again soon. Bye-bye.